Welcome back to Factorio Seablock, and I've now got the second setup here. We're making bobmonium, which means we're making tin and, well, glass. But that's a byproduct. Well, definitely tin. And we're also going to need lead, so let's get started with that and get everything rolling. So down here we've got another crystallizer as normal, and we're going to set up the same thing. I did some experimentation when we were producing enough power. We're not at the moment just because of a shortage of charcoal or something. I'll go and sort that out in a minute, but it turns out we didn't need the two crushers. It seemed to be doing just fine with a single one, or at least at the speed of all the other stuff at the moment. We can always add them in. I've left space here, so all that we need to do if we want the crushers back is put them right here, and then we have space to pull off the belt, push into the landfill factories, and everything is well, not golden, but pretty good. So yeah, let's get a few things laid out. So that's where our factory is going to be, and we are going to lay out something like this. We can then choose what we want from this, and that is going to be rubyite, I think. So the rubyite should come in here, and I'm going to need some more handcraft, some more small electric poles. Yeah, it's going to start foraging while I lay everything else out. So we got another sorting facility to lay out again. Not too well. I'm actually running out of space to space this properly for the moment, so I may have to do some modifications of this later once we've got enough landfill. We did actually also get some gardens here that we need to come back to at some point in the future. They're probably in my inventory somewhere. There they are, desert gardens. We can process those in future. So from here we're going to crush rubyite, and from that we're going to do the usual thing now, which is to just put them into a couple of furnaces. So yeah, that first furnace we want to set to lead, which is fine. The second one, a bit of more of a problem in that the other output is nickel, and we don't have any way of making that yet. But we're going to get the nickel out of this no matter what, so we're going to have to do something about that. I think for the moment what we should probably do is put a box down, and we'll set that up just to accept anything at the moment. But as soon as it drops a nickel in, something like that, we will restrict it, and then ideally hopefully have this just filling it with just nickel for the moment until we get to filter inserters. And then of course we've got to do something about, you know, the crushed stone for that, but that is something that we may have to manipulate things around a little bit to get it working. Shouldn't be much of a bother. Let's just put a ore crusher here for now, and then of course we can just like we've done before, set this out. The idea here probably will be something along the lines of you know, we'll set another furnace up, just a regular furnace. If we can't select one, got a furnace? Furnace, there we go. Regular one. And then we'll just feed into it once we're sure that it's only accepting nickel. So put it here or something like that. And let me just turn that sideways for now. And we're going to need power. And power on this side. So that should start providing stuff over here. We're going to need a crusher, of course, and inserters. So there it goes. Yeah, we've got this power situation, which is why it's so slow. But we want rubyite crushing, which it should take that in. That should go in here, and it should start providing stuff out. This side, of course, is going to be crushed stone. And then we have to fiddle around this a little bit. So let's just put something like this. Got some more belt going. And then we're going to have to play around a little bit with this to get it to work. We have to go underground. And then we can do something like that. Change this and say we want to pick up from above and drop into this box here. There we go. And this will accept crushed stone. Okay, so that is outputting fine. We have got nickel here, so we will let it build up a little bit, And we've got lead, so all we need is a little bit of fuel for that, which reminds me I should go and look. Why can't I get... I really should be... I've got squeeze through mod or whatever it's called. I really should be able to get through there. 1 hour. Let's go and see why the power problem's happening. So we've got a lot of charcoal here we can use to bootstrap things. I think it may be because we're using quite a lot here, perhaps, but it should be keeping up, providing enough charcoal to start off with. So we've got charcoal coming through. There's no backlog. There is no storage in the chest, so maybe we're just not producing enough. We need to get these up to full speed so that that can occur. We've got plenty of algae coming in, so maybe it's somewhere else. We've got 8 of these, and we've got 2, 4, 7 of these. Maybe we just need one more factory somewhere to do this. Quite odd if we did, but it is piling up here, so technically we do need another one. Let's just grab another assembling machine. And we're going to have to get that stuff onto this belt somehow, but we should be able to do it. It's not going to be a regular setup here, but it'll work, I think. Let's just grab a couple of inserters. Copy the setup over, and we're going to need another couple of electric poles as well. So you can see it does occasionally grab everything, but just to make sure of it, we will feed power in, and then we can do the usual underground thing here. There we go. So now we have equal numbers of these assembly machines to these, and then we have 2 machines here. They're not backlogged. The furnaces are being emptied. And I know this is a little bit strange setup, but it's just really because we don't want to try to spend anything on those blue inserters just yet, because they consume a lot more power. That's the main reason we aren't just rushing them as I normally would. We just don't have the power for it, and we don't have the land to get the extra power. These are producing enough carbon dioxide. That's fine. So it should be supplying enough for these to be powered. Maybe it's just fallen behind for some reason, and it's just not quite back up. So easiest way to catch up is just to grab some of this, which is being used for our ore generation down there. But then we can just drop it in here, and this should, well, as fast as it can do anyway, supply power, and hopefully it'll catch up now. So that's given things a bit of a jolt, and hopefully that's enough to actually get us going again. It does look like these are moving at full speed. We did need more. I went up there for some fuel. Let me just grab some of this carbon just temporarily, and we'll use that to kickstart the nickel and the, well, not so much nickel, but mainly lead is what we're looking for. So I guess I'm going to put half of it in there and some in here, and that should do. We can then just do the usual thing out here, and I'm assuming we're going to change this back to the standard setup we've got back up there, which means that we probably want a box, another inserter, and we'll just start boxing things up as and when everything works. How many lead ore do you need to... Oh, you need 4. And why are you backed up? We do actually need to remember to process the crushed stone. There we go. And again, we shouldn't need 2 crushers for the moment. As you can see, even now that we're back at full steam as far as the power is concerned, we can do just fine with a single crusher. Okay, so now we've got rubyite processing and bobmonium processing, which means we have both tin and lead. So if we want to do the same thing we did early on in the process, we could, I guess, technically make micro wafers. Let's just go back through this. So we're trying to make this. This is the red science pack. Needs reaction nodes, which we can handcraft. They're just copper and iron. And then it needs us to go through this process. So wafer stamps, which needs iron and tin. Micro wafers, which needs that, and lead. So iron, tin, and lead now. And that is pretty much, that's 4 wafer stamps, 4. So it's 2 iron, 2 tin, 4 lead, and 1 copper. Oh no, wait, yeah, half a copper. And then we need 10 of those. So it's 5 copper and then, 20 lead. So we're going to need quite a lot of lead. And then basic circuit boards and tin plates. Now we've made basic circuit boards, at least an automation for those. Let me just go run over here. We need lights, but I don't want to spare the power. All the way over there. Once I fill that up with copper, which I don't do all that often, we can put it right in. Is a box there? There's a box there. There we go. And that will make a batch of basic circuit boards. We'll of course want to automate that once I have enough land to actually put stuff onto. But for now, we should have a sort of straightforward setup for our lead. And this will pile up and then fill up eventually. So I may have to ladle that out to keep the lead going until we have some way of processing nickel. Speaking of which, we can go into research and have a look at nickel. So advanced ore refining will give us the nickel ore recipe, I assume. Even in this, will this give us the nickel plate recipe? Doesn't show the one from in a regular furnace, so maybe we can't process it in a regular furnace. In either case, we need the red science to do it, so that's right out of the thing there. We got tin smelting, and we got very little left in just the yellow science area, so we're gonna have to go for one of those. And yeah, let's just go for tin smelting, shall we? Okay, so now I'm going to just keep grabbing these and do it off camera, of course, and then we'll think about setting up something for that red science setup, and then maybe putting the science setup down somewhere if I've got enough land to put something down, and we'll get it starting with the next tier of stuff. Okay, so let's build this thing backwards. I've moved the science slab down here, so we're just moving the yellow science packs down to it. And again, we'll just do something that sort of gets things going. So we're going to start off with the last in the step, which is the red science pack itself. So that's going to need reaction nodes, and it's going to need atmosphere atmosphere instrumentation. So the reaction nodes are just electromagnetic coils and iron plate. Now we're already making coils up here, and yeah, we don't have much in the way of sort of flexibility with this, so I'll probably move that down once we get something better for that. But for the moment, let's just say we go for this. So that's going to feed in here, and then we're going to need somewhere for that to, we're going to provide that from somewhere. I really don't have a lot of space. That's not going to be very much space, is it? No, not enough to put down another factory anyway, assembly machine. So this is going to be our reaction node. So that's going to need coils and iron plates. And what is the other ingredient? That's the atmosphere instrumentation. So we have to go backwards through this. It's going to need basic circuit boards and tin plate. All right, fair enough. So there we go. And that will be interesting. Do I have to have blue? Oh, I hope I don't have to have blue assembly machines. Maybe we can get away with electronic assembly machines. Will you work? Let's give you a try. I really, really hope so. And in fact, we can probably fit more space in if we use these in general. So electronic circuits. No, we can't. Okay, so that means we're going to need the other assembly machine, which you're going to need our electronic circuits. Ooh, it's a good job I saved those 5. Let's make one of them. Otherwise, it's going to be harder to do this. So let's just oops, put that in the right place. And hopefully it isn't needed for any of the other parts. But yeah, instrumentation. Yeah, so we can make that part with this. So in here we're going to need tin plates. So let's make a box. And I'm just going to feed that in for now. Does this one need tin plate? No, that needs copper, but we can just pull in from the same box whatever they need. It's going to need basic circuit boards. Again, we can put that in the box. And microcircuits. So then we just need to put in our usual machine here. So microcircuits. Yeah. And then that will need, so I'm going to need another assembly machine. I may need two actually. Let's just make two now. So we've got something. And now I'm going to need some space. This might be a little bit of a problem. So from here we need to go backwards again. So this is going to be micro wafers. And that also needs lead plate. And then this goes all the way back. This needs iron and tin. Okay, so since this one needs tin as well, we can just move this box. All right, so that's our tin box. So if we just put, I don't know, 70 tin in there just to get it started. And both of those are going to need to be supplied. So this one will work with iron as well. This one does not need iron, but to be honest, we can also put some boards in. And if I had iron, I could grab it from wherever it is. Are we out of iron? It may just be our power problem recurring again that I need to solve. In any case, so iron and tin will come from there and be fed into this one. This one is going to go into here. That needs lead as well. So lead and copper need to come from this. And I'm out of iron entirely. And I don't want any wood. Okay, let me go and solve that. Let me go and solve that. Okay, and here's the system I can coax this. Here's the system I can coax into life just by supplying these 3 points manually. And that's what we're going to be needing because I want to get this science done for a couple of things. One, near inserters. Now, near inserters will let me be more flexible with inserters. Perhaps more importantly, however, that is 25 red science. But inserter capacity bonus would be good. Now, I'm not sure if that gives us, well, I'm not sure if it gives us a bonus for level 1. Hopefully it will, which means if it does, I will be able to use less inserters, which means right now, because we need to be more efficient, less power, because each inserter obviously uses up some power. Okay, so those two are definite ones that we actually need to get going. There's some other convenience things like lab research speed and basically better power poles that we can make from copper and steel, but because we haven't got to steel yet, it's not too important. We're definitely not going to need red belts just yet. Although wood processing may be good if it unlocks more stuff for us, like a different wood recipe with fiber and cellulose paste. Okay, I think that's pretty much it for what I need immediately. So I almost want to make sure that I choose this inserter capacity bonus. And then there is, was there something else? Sulfur processing? Does that give us anything else new? Sulfur dioxide, no. Hydrofluoric, no. So yeah, we definitely want to start with that one. And hopefully we can get there. So to do that, I need to supply it with iron to kick it off. So that will start building these. Over here, we also need iron as well. So I'm going to have to grab some of that. That's a terribly low amount. Just while it's trying to recover from the power situation. By the way, the power situation was just, I think it was just running out of carbon dioxide. It was just getting eventually starved of it. And just slowing down and stopping, really. So I've fixed that for now just by putting a liquefier up there. I'm going to need to make another chemical plant rather than liquefier because liquefier isn't as good. But other than that, we've got that solved. So it's got through to this point in the process. This is going to need something to move it from here to here. Actually needs another inserter, which I can probably make if I get enough iron plate. Yes, make one inserter. Okay, so this is starting up. Good. It should get all the way to here now. It's got all its ingredients, which should mean this is able to make red science finally, and we're going to need that other inserter to feed it in to the science lab. Also here, we're going to be able to need, well, we're going to need to supply iron to be able to make the yellow science pack. So that's going to be starved in between me and the yellow science packs. And then some of those will make it down to this science lab as well. So here's our first red science coming off the belt. And why won't you take that? Single-use Atmos sets. Is that what it needs? Yes. Will this lab not do it? Interesting. If not, maybe it will only take the yellow science. Let's take a look at the labs. Is there a second tier? Oh, I really hope that isn't needed for red science, but it probably is knowing my luck. And we need electronic circuits if that's the case. Okay, can we make electronic circuits manually to get us to that lab? Let's take a look at it. Circuits. What do we need? So basic electronic boards and iron plates. That is okay so far. Basic electronic boards. So we're going to need solder and basic electronic components. Solder isn't too bad now though, because we've just got tin and lead because we needed it for this setup anyway. So that's generally what solder is. So that will be good. Can we make solder? What's our options? Resin, which comes from wood usually. Solder plate. Or solder plate and alginic acid. We're already making alginic acid. So I think that's definitely the thing I want. And we can make it in a metal mixing furnace, which we've already got, with some lead and tin, which again, we've already got. So if we head up to top, I'm going to grab my metal mixing furnace, the one I couldn't use for nickel. And alginic acid is right in here somewhere. Yeah, it's right in there. So I guess we could just pull that out. Yeah, we should be able to just belt it out, I think, if we grab some more iron from down there. Well, I will grab more iron, but it's sort of being all hoovered up. So I'll just turn off that science pack lab for a little bit. And so we're going to get the stuff out of here and to make the metal mixing furnace. So let's put that down. Something like that will do for now. And we'll then tell it to make solder plate. Actually, is it solder plate that we needed? No, it wasn't, was it? It was the other component. Oh, and your power's failing again. Let me sort that out. Okay, so that's solved. So let's go and get this sorted. So it was solder, wasn't it? And it was our second recipe. We want the alginic acid and the solder plate. Solder plate, we should be able to select in here, solder plate. And then we just fill that with some of you and some of you. And it's just going to need a little bit of, well, fuel, which I'm pretty incredibly short on at the moment, but we can just grab a little bit just to get it started. There we go. And then we need a couple of inserters. Let's go and grab that from our furnaces. And grab all the other stuff down there as well. I've turned off the power down at that science lab just because I was trying to recover this system. It seems to be the actually, once I've traced it back even further, it was the mineralized water here that was having a problem. We weren't getting enough stone, and then because I was diverting this for stone bricks up here, that then caused a shortage here. I've put another liquefier in. That's making sure that all of these are fed again, which means all of this pipeline is working again, and you know, obviously more fuel should get going through. I don't really like using burner inserters because they are slower than the yellow ones, and I'm still using the yellow ones here, so you know, I'm a bit wary. But because we've got a permanent source of power anyway, you know, we can always improvise. So let's, and the permanent source of power, I mean, is the wind turbines. So let's put you in. Let's get both of those up and running. And that is solder sorted, or should be once I have another inserter to export out of here. Can I build another one? Hopefully. Yep, we can. There we go. So that should be that sorted. I'm going to need to hand feed it. So that's the solder. What's the other? The electronic components is the other one, isn't it? Electronic components. Okay, so we just need tin, copper wire, and carbon. That's relatively easy to do. Tin, copper wire, we can definitely use this to make one of those things. So let's take a look. And in fact, we can use this to make the solder as well. So let's just take that up. And we might just be able to use it here. I'm just wondering if that's more efficient. Okay, and the other one, we're going to need to make a couple more of those. So they're going to need some more iron, aren't they? Let's go and grab more. Do I have enough yet? No, I don't. So let's just take a look at what it needs for this components. There we are. Much simpler than the Angels and Bobs series. So tin copper wire is just tin plate and copper wire, a copper cable even. So we can use an electronic assembler for that, an electronic assembler for this, and an electronic assembler for the whole thing. So we need 3 of them, enough iron for them, and we need carbon from somewhere. We can't use charcoal for it, it has to be carbon. So which means it has to come from this line here, or at least I have to grab it once this power situation is sorted out. So I'm going to go and grab some more iron off camera, and we're going to get some more carbon produced. Hopefully get rid of this shortage once everything is caught back up again. It does take quite a while once this whole thing stops to catch up, and let's see if that will do the job. Okay, so a few more assembly machines up here, and still a power shortage. I'll rebuild it between the episodes. Let's just get this sorted for now. So we've got tin copper wire coming from this regular copper cable. And we want to, what are we going to make from that? The components? Yes, we do. We'll take that, which means we can just connect these 2 together. And then all I need now is a source of carbon here, wherever I put that in from. Assuming that, you know, I eventually have some left over once I've built power. That means we will get the electronic components. We'll get the basic electronic boards here from the electronic components, solder right next door, and the basic circuit boards are right here, so we can just belt that kind of stuff in this way. And we're going to need some more inserters, but I need some more metal, which needs more power, and I'm running out of time, unfortunately. So we've got all the 3 components we're going to need there, and I'll show that at the start of next episode. That will let us build these, and then it's only one step from there to get to the electronic circuit itself, I think. Was it from there to electronic circuit? Just needs iron, nothing else. So all I need to do is put an iron box in here to get it started. That will let us get electronic components or circuits. That will let us get the next tier of lab up, which means we can start back up with this setup we've built at the bottom. So everything is done. I just need to do a lot of the power stuff, and that's going to take a couple of hours or so for me to figure out and rebuild if necessary. It's mostly there. I think it's just being starved at various points in here. You know, you're just one thing and the carbon dioxide collapses. You're just another thing and the mineralized water collapses. And at this point, it needs a kickstart so that everything can run back at full speed again. Because as you can see here, we have charcoal, what I attempted to do here was to have an independent power source. So if I disconnect that one, this still works. And it's still pulling off the electricity there. You can see at the bottom right of the screen. And it's from an independent power source, just the wind turbines. But there aren't really enough of them to feed enough electricity in here because the wind turbines just aren't supplying enough. So we can do an independent thing like that, but we'd need lots and lots of wind turbines and not connected anywhere else on the network. So for now, we can put the pole back in and it'll get the electricity once, assuming it could actually generate it fast enough. So what... I think we're just going to have to keep an eye on that one, and this certainly isn't at capacity. It just needs enough electricity to keep going. Okay, so I've got electronic circuits built this episode, and red science. We just need to sort of our power to show it working. But of course, I'll show that at the start of next episode. That means we've got yellow and red science, and of course, this inserter capacity bonus is the first thing I'm going to go for. If you disagree, if you think I should go for something else, please leave a comment. I'm more than happy to hear from you guys about which one to build first in this particular mod pack. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode, aside from my various power problems, and we'll see you next episode for just the completion of the red science setup, and then on into, well, a lot of the different research. So yeah, we'll take a look at that research and get it all going. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, as always, and I'll see you next time.